The city of Calgary is coming out with a new watering schedule.
Yes, so those established plants that people have a tendency to overwater, I think it's going to teach us better watering principles.
I grew up with let's just water everything. I like to see how the water rains down.
Look at it, 1% amended will retain 1.4 litres of readily available plant water.
If you live in an odd, you can just go water all of the house.
Watering your neighbor across the road. I got you, Jim.
I have to own up to something.
Uh-oh.
I feel like I'm going to feel better once I air it out.
First of all, Brandi, you're in a safe space.
Thank you.
Everybody here loves you. Okay.
You know how we say I'm the greenest of green thumbs? I actually think I'm a better gardener than I am a cook.
So, would that mean you're the most charred of charred thumbs?
Yeah. Is there an equivalent to being a really bad cook? So I'll break it down for you. So the other night, I was making something in the oven, and then I had olive oil and that kind of thing, and potatoes and whatever. So I take those out, and then on the same pan, I then go to broil. All of a sudden, I see smoke billowing out of the oven. I open the oven door, and there is actual flame.
What the hell did you...
And so I'm like, help! Brad's with Bennett. And that's all I can muster. It's just screaming for help. I have no idea. I've never seen flame in the oven before.
No, one time, yes, but it was because I didn't know, I wasn't paying attention. I used wax paper, not parchment paper. But I knew what was burning, and I knew the moment I removed it from heat. I've never opened the door to flame.
It was so bad because then I opened the oven, and then there's smoke billowing out of it, and then... So Brad comes over. I instantly went to go get the fire extinguisher, and then Brad's just like, I got this, and then he put the fire out. I look over at Bennett. Bennett's just sitting there like, what's going on?
Yeah, what the hell was that?
My mom's in the basement because she's living with us, and she's just like, what's going on? You can hear her from downstairs, and all of a sudden, Brad is really great in a crisis. I'm standing there doing nothing other than maybe I'll grab a fire extinguisher. He's already got all the fans in the house going. He's got all the doors open. Thankfully, it's not -30 anymore.
Yeah.
The fire was out. He's just we stood there, and you know when something chaotic happens, and you just stand there and you just look at each other, and it's just calm.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what just happened? And I look at him and I'm like, I guess I'm better at other things than not cooking, and he's really good at cooking. So now Brad's we need to build up that trust again. So
yeah, unfortunately, self-cleaning doesn't get rid of memories.
That should be on a t-shirt. Yeah. Right. No, safe to say, I am very thankful to be now heading outside where, I feel like I am a little bit better, and we can start using the barbecue more instead of the oven. What's interesting is, now that we're spending a bit more time outside, I'm starting to get, plan out every weekend from here on out, and I'm just like, okay, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And then you actually brought this to my attention. The city of Calgary is coming out with a new watering schedule.
Yes.
And that actually, it just got underway on April 28th.
Yep.
And so it's in effect right now. It'll be based on your house address, which is very similar to how it is across many areas in the country.
City of Calgary, they didn't reinvent the wheel.
No, exactly.
Yep.
We talked to Shelley about it, and she was mentioning that in BC they do the exact same thing. And it is based on your house address. So if you have an even address, so 0246, that's how it ends. So if you're 127, then you would be in the odd address column. So even addresses that end in the even numbers is Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Odd addresses are Wednesday, Friday, Sunday.
So you can even say on Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, you can't even.
I'm just like, what?
Oh my God.
Nice.
That was fleek.
No, get that gone. My gosh. So what do you think about this?
The only thing I could say is I'm a little disappointed it took them this long. Most of us, gardeners I should say, not most of us, but most gardeners I know have been watering like this or even stricter in a sense for decades.
Yeah.
You know, so this is nothing new. It's 100% not restrictive.
Yeah.
You can unlimited water by watering can or spring shut off nozzle anytime.
Right.
So, and then new sod, new seed, food-bearing plants, new trees, new landscape, also zero restrictions.
Yeah.
So, like, there is absolutely not one thing wrong with that schedule. And I'm not surprised because, again, you know, yeah, the city might have taken their time, but they did it right. You know, the city aren't going Big Brother with this.
Yeah.
Okay, they're not asking people to rat out their neighbors. You're not being spied on. They're not monitoring your water usage. If you, you know, if you're an even day, I genuinely can't remember which one it is. I'm even.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm my address ends in an 8.
I'm odd.
Are you? So then we can share.
We can share.
It might be a bit of a drive.
That doesn't make any sense.
Do you have 93 kilometers of hose?
That doesn't mean that if you live in an odd, you can just go water all of the house.
Watering your neighbor across the road. I got you, Jim. But again, so you plant your tomatoes, where you can water them every day.
Yeah.
They're a food-bearing plant. Life is life, and I'm busy at work, and everything's happening. I get home, I got errands to run, blah, blah, blah. As happens to us all, and I'm tired, and I forget to water my lawn on the Tuesday. My lawn will be just fine until the Thursday.
That's the thing.
It's established.
Yeah.
So those established plants that people have a tendency to overwater, I think it's going to teach us better watering principles. You go, oh no, I missed watering it. Oh well, it'll be good, and who knows, maybe it rains the next day.
What a great
Whatever.
perspective. Yeah. Because I mean, like you said, those established perennials and trees and shrubs have long roots to tap into it. Can you imagine? Like, say it rains for half the month. Maybe you don't even have to water.
Exactly.
Then you only have to water, like you said, your fruits, your vegetables, like those kinds of things. Maybe what we should do is we should look at some ways that you can save water. I mean, why stop here? Because I think the most obvious thing is rain barrels. Rain barrels have been top of mind here.
Rain barrels are like the symbol of backyard water conservation.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
It's because it's so easy.
Yeah.
You literally have to do nothing but
And
put a bin out there.
It's instantly recognizable.
Yeah. I actually had rain barrels growing up.
Did you really?
Yeah, so it's been instilled in.
So you were well ahead of the curve.
Oh yeah, we had tons of. My dad was a plumber.
You're like a hipster. You're like a hipster water.
My dad really liked any opportunity to like optimize using plumbing.
Nice.
And so obviously rain barrels was an easy way to do that because you could use the tools and materials that he already possessed, right?
And he wasn't scared about cutting eavesdrops and adding taps and faucets.
Oh my gosh, he had such a system. I actually, at the time, I was like, whatever, Dad. But looking back on it now that I'm starting my own thing, I'm like, ooh, okay, that was actually kind of cool. Like he had, literally like taps and they were connected.
And you're trying to remember how he did it because you want to build your...
I wish I had appreciated it more, right?
Yep.
So that's an option for you.
Yep.
What else can we think of?
Michigan State University did the study. I've read the study fully a couple of times, but essentially what they found was a cubic foot of soil, which is literally nothing. Okay?
I was like, I don't know what that means.
Cubic. So take a cubic foot out of your garden.
Yep.
Literally picture that. Amend that with 1% organic matter. Okay? And by that I mean your coconut coir, your compost, your manures, peat moss.
So not just compost.
Yeah, no, any of them.
Yeah.
Any organic material. Not organic material like rock dust. You want something that is specific for water absorption, that amends the soil. So again, that's why I listed those big hitters. 1% amended will retain 1.4 liters of readily available plant water.
Wow.
Yeah. So when we talk about amending the soil, and we always say work those amendments 2 to 4 inches deep. Okay, well, 2 to 4 inches, 4 inches in a cubic foot is a third of it. around the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've amended the soil that much. You've put in more than 1%. So that soil now is going to act like a sponge and absorb the water and then protect your soil. Fabric, mulch. So the mulch can be shredded wood, straw, pine cones, anything. Keep the sun and the wind off it. Stop any impaction, so heavy rain, stepping on it is going to protect that soil, and the difference is colossal.
And it's so funny, whenever you talk about amending soil, everybody always thinks about, oh, how can I give my plants more nutrients to feed off to serve me?
Yep.
But nobody ever talks about the watering aspect. That's so brilliant.
Yeah, that's what I say when it's a win-win.
Yeah.
So, and when we're amending the soil, again, the other thing we've talked about is what do you do while you're amending your soil? Well, you're weed. So you're cultivating, you're turning the soil, you're killing the weeds. Weeds are notorious water thieves. Like they are unbelievably opportunistic. So you get rid of the weeds, so now nothing is pulling the water. So your soil is protected from evaporation. Your soil is protected from UV sterilization, wind erosion, and compaction.
Okay, also, another one is timing. You always say this.
Yep.
Early morning, like 5 a.m., that's the best time to water.
100%.
Second best time to water would be late in the evening.
Yep.
We want to do it at the coolest time of the day, and then that will reduce the amount of evaporation.
You go out at 2 in the afternoon and all of your tomatoes are wilted. What's the first thing you do? You reach for the hose.
Yeah.
You watered them in the morning, but you reach for the hose. And you soak them and you go, there we go. Most of the time, if you check the soil, if you've protected your soil, you've amended your soil, we've done all of that, and you check your soil is still cool and damp. What's happening there is it's called transpiration imbalance. And basically what it means is there is so much hard sun, the plant is photosynthesizing at a rate that it's losing so much water, the roots can't drink it up. So it's almost like us getting dehydrated. What do we do if that happens? We go sit in the shade and cool down. Put shade cloth over your plants. That's the difference maker. Not watering, because the soil is wet. The plant has water, but it cannot drink it quick enough.
Yeah.
The roots aren't pulling it up. So giving it more water, now you're running the risk, because now you're basically putting a moist area with heat that water, especially if you've protected the soil, can't evaporate. So now you're pushing fungal territories.
Yeah.
So now you've overwatered and you haven't solved the problem.
Well, maybe that's why this schedule is great.
Yep.
Especially for those established plants, because then you're not running the risk of overwatering. I love that. Okay, I also love the idea of the low and slow method. I grew up with let's just water everything. I like to see how the water rains down.
Look at it catching in the sunlight. Making rainbows.
I will 100% say I am guilty of that.
Yeah.
But it's actually more effective to water where it actually is needed. That's the soil. Because the roots are the things that's uptaking the water and the nutrients. Sure, there is something to be said about watering the leaves when you have dust on them,
100%.
But primarily we want to be doing down by the root base. And actually, you just talked about it using a soaker, like a.
Yep.
What do you call it?
Soaker hose.
Soaker hose.
Yep.
That's a great way.
Soaker hose, root feeders, like the root around system. Here's the flip side: if you amend your soil, you do great. Then you put down a thick, heavy-duty fabric, and then on top of that, you put a couple of inches of mulch. Well, you now have 2 inches of wood and fabric to get through before water is hitting the soil.
True, yep.
Suddenly you go, oh my God, well, this tomato doesn't need 1 liter, it now needs 1.5 liters. So what did I do to help? Because now I need more water to saturate. So put in a root feeder, put something in that you pour down a tube and that water goes straight into the roots.
Yeah.
Done. And now you've watered, that water is trapped and insulated in your organic matter, and it won't evaporate, and the plant's like, thank you. When I tested the root around, what we found was with fabric and mulch and using a direct underground watering system, plants, tomatoes specifically, in a full sun area needed 50% less water. I also tested various systems without mulch, and what we found is when you water traditionally, you pour the water, the ground absorbs it as much as it can, but then it saturates and the water pools off. So now you're watering areas where there is no plant roots, and all you're doing is irrigating dormant weed seeds. And when you pour from a watering can or a hose, you're compacting the soil. So now you're stopping gas exchange. So you've made a bad environment, basically.
Yeah.
Where, again, if you fabric mulch or just fabric or just mulch, whatever you prefer, and then you water using a soaker hose or a root feeder, it's win-win. You're only irrigating the root of the plant that you want to be irrigated.
Yeah.
You have no runoff, no pooling, you're not feeding weeds, you're not compacting the soil, and the water stays where you need it to be. Like, these are relatively attainable and simple goals.
Yeah, because I think in today's day and age, like, the name of the game is, what is the thing that will make gardening easier for me so that I can focus on the parts that I do like doing?
Yep.
And truly, I don't foresee, this watering schedule, like you said, it's been working in areas across the country for years, decades.
Yep.
And I don't think it's too much of an ask, moving forward, but I'm very curious to see what, other people will say about it.
Definitely.
Actually, if you live in the Calgary area, or if you live in an area that has been implementing watering schedules for a while, share your experience, because we'd like to hear about it. And
if anybody has any extra water, if you finished watering your garden and you go, oh my God, I still have half a watering can left, bring it to Brandi for the next time that she puts her garlic bread on broil. Apparently she could use it. That's all I'm saying. Maybe I'll give it to Brad. Give it to Brad.
I can't believe